Winter is officially here, a great time to watch the birds that have stuck around, providing us with beauty and enjoyment. Resident birds have likely been making rounds to your feeders daily. There are some winter migrants to be on the lookout for though, some of which may make an appearance in your backyard, and others you'll have to suit up for to go in search of. This is going to be pretty general, and what species you will see is very dependent on your location, as well as what natural resources are available. Also, this year is not an eruptive one due to the abundance of food. But there will still be some southward movement, just nothing like we saw in 2020-2021. Let us see what birds we could spot over this chilly season. Beginning with birds of prey, one beautiful visitor from the Arctic is the snowy owl. They are fairly common this time of year throughout the more southern areas of Canada on into the United States. So far, they've been seen occupying scattered sites from Nova Scotia to Long Island, westward through southern Canada and the upper Midwest to British Columbia. The farthest one has been sighted so far is in Virginia. Look for them in open areas like airport lands, agricultural fields, and along shorelines of lakes and the ocean. Another Arctic bird of prey, the rough-legged hawk, shows up this time of year too. The entire population moves from Arctic breeding grounds to wintering grounds in the US and southern Canada. They like open country and often perch on poles and fence posts. They can also be found on the ground or in very thin treetops. Rough-legged hawks can be seen hovering over the ground as they hunt for small rodents. A favorite hawk of mine, the beautiful Northern Goshawk, can be seen more so in winter too. Some of the population have migrated a short distance into the United States, usually younger birds. Adults tend to stay in their breeding areas, providing a fun opportunity to go in search of this elusive bird of prey. Mature goshawks are a beautiful gray with white eye strips and deep red eyes. One interesting bird I look forward to seeing each winter is the Northern Shrike. Predatory songbirds who look very similar to the cute Canada jay. The hooked bill and black markings under the eyes should help you identify one. These guys breed in the remote north, but migrate to southern locations of Canada and the United States as far down as Utah or Pennsylvania. One neat thing is that in their winter location, they hold territories, which means repeat sightings are highly probable. Areas they like to hang out in are brushy habitats, and on days of good weather, they can be found sitting on utility wires, trees, and bushes. Moving on from birds of prey, let us look at some passerines. The gorgeous snow buntings. Restless black and white birds that form huge flocks over this cold time of year, migrating all the way from the Arctic, settling in places through Canada and the United States. As they forage on the ground in open fields or along lake shores, snow buntings blend in very well, but take a moment to scan the area and you'll likely see some movement. Look for a hunched over posture. Almost every 10 minutes they take off to a new foraging spot. They often flock with horned larks and longspurs. One awesome winter passerine, the Bohemian waxwing, may show up in some areas. However, due to the very good mountain ashberry crops in the boreal forest from Lake Superior to Newfoundland and Labrador, birds have no reason to really go south. West of Lake Superior, there will be some movement of flocks, as these punk rock-looking birds go in search of buckthorn, ashberries, and crabapples. These guys come in pretty large flocks, and are nomadic, drifting from food source to food source. It is possible to attract them to feeders that provide fruit they like, but more often ornamental berry trees are sources they seek. Be sure to listen for their high-pitched trills as they fly overhead or are perched in a tree. Red-breasted nuthatches. Thanks to a very good cone crop in the northeast, these big personality little birds won't be showing up in large numbers south of the Canadian border like in 2020, at least not the eastern half. However, west of Lake Superior, there is a possibility to see them since cone crops aren't sufficient. Suet, black oil sunflower seeds, and peanuts are great food to offer them. Now let us talk about the winter finches, some of the most exciting birds to see. A lot of the information I'm going to use came from finchnetwork.org, a really good site that gives predictions on what finches to expect each winter. So for further reading, check them out. Specializing in eating seeds from the cones of native trees like tamarack, spruce, and other pines, as well as fruit like mountain ash and crab apples, these birds in some years can show up in large numbers and not so much in others. This year, the boreal forest has produced a decent crop along the southern edge from Lake Superior eastward to Newfoundland and southward to northern New England and New York State. In those areas, it will be a good winter to see many finches. Locations west of Lake Superior is a different story, though. Due to the drought and hot summer experienced, cone and berry production is not good, so birds in those areas will be on the move in search of food, which is good news for birders in the border states. One tiny finch that birders look forward to seeing each winter is the adorable common redpoll. This year, though, they have no reason to leave their northern range due to good birch, alders, and spruce crops in the eastern portion. But as we head into the later part of winter, it may be a different story, so keep an eye out for them in February and March and possibly into April in southern Canada and the neighboring border states. In the western half, there will likely be some movement southward into areas that have sufficient tree seed crops and weedy fields. And of course, feeders filled with Niger or black oil sunflower seeds and suet could attract them. White-winged crossbills are staying north this year in eastern North America because of the abundance of spruce crops, most notably in Maine, Maritime provinces, and Newfoundland, but they will also be seen southward into northern New York and New England. You don't necessarily have to go to the forest to see these unique finches. Urban areas with ornamental spruce trees could have them visiting. The interesting thing with these guys is that they breed when food is plentiful, even if that's in the middle of the winter. Try spotting the streaked juveniles in a flock. A brightly colored flock of birds to see over winter. The evening grosbeak for most of the population will be staying in the boreal forest in the east, but some are expected to move into central Ontario, southern Quebec, the Maritime provinces, New England states, New York, and possibly Pennsylvania for the winter. Heading westward towards Alberta from northwestern Ontario, birds are predicted to move southward out of the boreal forest in search of feeders and natural food sources in urban and suburban areas. Birders in the border states should keep an eye out for them. These large, colorful finches enjoy platform feeders with black oil sunflower seeds and can show up in large numbers. People in Western Canada and the upper Midwest states will likely have a chance to see the beautiful pine grosbeaks as they arrive in large flocks seeking fruiting ornamental trees and well-stocked feeders with black oil sunflower seeds. East of Lake Superior, there is a great source of mountain ash, so pine grosbeaks will likely remain in their territory. This can provide a nice site for those out on their winter woods adventures. For people who like gulls, there are a few visitors from the Arctic, like the Iceland gull, who can be found along the Atlantic and Pacific coasts or around the Great Lakes. These guys aren't very numerous, but they are pretty regular. Another more northern visitor to the southern areas of the states for winter is the Bonaparte's gull, one of the smallest in North America. They like to forage for small fish on ocean waters or over lakes, rivers, and reservoirs, especially during bad weather. One fun thing is that other rarer species of gull may be mixed in a flock, such as the little gull or black-headed gull. So it's worth scanning a flock to see who else is hidden in plain sight. Those are some winter visitors to go in search of, but there are also resident or short migrant birds, especially in the north, that offer a wonderful birding experience. For people in Canada and several northern states, this is a great season to see the cute, big personality and friendly Canada jay. With fluffy gray and white thick plumage, they are a beautiful sight to behold over the cold season and provide such joy thanks to their very tame way. Through northernmost regions of Canada, the stunning snow ghost, the willow ptarmigan, is quite the sight, if you can spot them as they blend in very well to the snowy backdrop, moving slowly as if floating above the snow. If you want a challenge and are in their location, try to spot the golden crowned kinglet, a tiny bird that never stops moving, flitting in and out of limbs high up in pines as they search for dormant insects. Over winter, some of the population lives south of their breeding range, so that is great news for birders in the United States. That is, if you're up for the challenge. Winter is also a great time to see massive flocks of waterfowl together in prime areas that have open water, which is in short supply during this time of year, causing them to all come together. Areas like that offer ducks, geese, and swans a place to feed and safety from land predators. Definitely keep your eyes open, as you never know who may be in the flock. This chilly time of year may be discouraging, but getting outside to enjoy the beauty nature has to offer over this seemingly bleak season will open your eyes to the magical wonder of winter. You are sure to be amazed and likely humbled by the incredible ability of birds to survive in such a harsh environment. So get your wool underwear, warm socks, boots, hat, scarf, and winter coat on, and seize the short winter days. You never know what wonders await you during this formidable season. Thank you for watching. Happy winter birding.